Mojave King, the next star, playing and starting tonight. Dusty Hannah's their import from Little Rock, Arkansas. We'll see tonight as well. So we're underway for the first game of our doubleheader. Matt Hodgson, the latest of late signings for Perth. Starting in the middle, Purchase fires away from outside to start with. That'll be a Perth ball. Starting.
So we'll see how he comes out of the gate. Yeah, Jack's trying to find his groove. He's trying to find a home. Obviously had a good college career. Hawaii, comes here. Adelaide a little bit, didn't quite, maybe not have been the best fit for him. So he's looking to prove himself still.
36ers take the early lead. It's Cotton after the handoff from Hodgson. That's missing everything. Something tells me we won't see that often during the NBL season.
It's not going to discourage him at all. But I'll tell you what, if you're on defense and you're going to be trailing him like that, you might want to trail him with a little bit more assertiveness, because he's letting it go.
Second game for Adelaide. They played on Sunday against Cairns here at MyState Bank Arena. Winners in overtime, 91-87. On the back of 33 points from Daniel Johnson. There's Bairstow, who kept fighting for it and eventually had it, although lost it. And his pocket picked by Cotton. Travers ahead. Was worried out of it by Isaac Humphries. Now Sunday Deck lifting the tempo.
Cameron Bairstow. Sorry. He's going to have to know he can't put the ball on the floor like that. One dribble, maybe two, you know the little fellas is coming. That's a turnover that shouldn't have happened.
Especially when Bryce Cotton's around. Humphries.
Oh, give me the lefty hook.
Forced up something. Hodgson did well not to give away a foul. Shot clock at 9. And Hodgson winning that battle as well over Humphries. And Vic Law, only 16 games last year with Brisbane, but we like what we saw. Huge signing for Perth during the off-season. Cotton short again, but there's Hodgson on the offensive glass. Perth are making hard work of this.
Matt Hodgson, believe it or not, I saw him in a Big V tournament in Melbourne playing for the Waverley Falcons, and I walked in and I thought, who's that 8-foot guy? He had no business playing in the Big V.
Yeah.
Shout out Waverley Falcons, but he should be able to dominate on the boards at least in this game.
A lot of experience in this league. Was headed overseas. Some things fell through and an offer came through from the Wildcats. And I suppose, Damon, Perth are one of those teams that when they knock on the door, you open it, don't you?
It's hard to say no. Champions, you're playing in front of 25,000 knuckleheads. Now, a sellout crowd. They love their team over
The Red
there.
Army will get you.
I still got
Are you on Twitter? They will find you on Twitter, the Red Army.
My 4-year-old daughter, when she was 4, learned the word wanker from watching me play in Perth. So no love lost. But no, I mean, what a great place to play. You know you're going to get the full support, and it's championships. You know, it's in their DNA. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get back to that mountaintop.
Both teams rolling some substitutions. Sunday Deck gets into the paint. Couldn't finish off. And there's Majuk. Another fantastic to see him back playing. Didn't play at all last year due to an Achilles injury. He looks fit. From all reports, he's been training the house down.
One of those great effort guys, gives you just nonstop effort on both ends of the floor, crashes the boards. He knows who he is as a player. You don't have to run plays for him, but he can finish when you give it to him, and seems like a great teammate.
Re-signed on a 2-year deal. So I mentioned that faith that the Wildcats front office have had in him. It's Mojave King.
Nice.
Lays it up on Cotton.
That's what you got to do when you're playing against a scorer like Cotton. You got to make him honest and hold him accountable on the defensive end.
His first points as a 36er. Second year in the NBL Next Stars program. Cotton with 5 on the shot clock. Dumps it out for Kyle Zunic. His first attempt from outside looks good.
I'm going to say right now, and I don't know what the defensive rules are, but you help out of that corner and you give up a triple because you think you're stopping penetration. I think that's a problem. You got to be careful. Matter of fact, I don't think you should be doing it. So.
Humphreys off the back of the iron. Rebound by the veteran, Jesse Wagstaff. Kevin White. And down to Majuk. Size advantage and strength advantage over Manny Malou. And he made good use of it.
There you go. Just dump it into the post. 2 crab dribbles, jump hook. Easy money.
Wildcats lead it by 1. Deck gets all the way in and scores. It's been a fascinating off-season for the Wildcats, Damon. They've only face-to-face seen their coach Scott Morrison 2 days ago because of restrictions and whatnot. Mike Kelly's basically been coaching this team the whole off-season. So you'd expect they're just going to do the basics tonight.
Yeah, it's probably a tough dynamic. Some teams probably would like to not see their coach for face-to-face for quite a while. But considering Scott hasn't been here before, you know, you would like to hear his voice. So I'm sure Mike is in training saying things like, hey, this is what Scott said.
Yeah.
This is what Scott said.
Yep.
You know, so it's going to take a while for Mike and Scott to get on the same page.
Spoke in the lead up to tonight's game, the new Perth coach, and said they're just focusing on the fundamentals. And here's Dusty Hannah's his first minute straight into the action.
Don't hesitate.
He's a shooter, and I think we've just learnt that.
Come off that ball screen, and he's a scorer like that. You're gonna have to respect him early. He's letting you know he's not gonna hesitate.
4 games over a couple of seasons with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Crab, hook, tip in.
Does it again. This time Hannah's off the glass, showing his pace.
Proving he can also put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
Zunic lost it. Nice hands from Deck, but Zunic got it back, only to have it stolen away by Mojave King. Wagstaff is going to send him to the free throw line.
Scott Morrison's looking at his group. He's going, can any of these guys make the Boston Celtics? And Luke Travis is probably thinking, hey, you know, I already got an in.
Yeah.
He'll see Scott over there on his phone. He'll go, hey, is that who you talking to? Wouldn't be Danny Ainge by any chance, would it? Put a word in for me. But it's good to get them kind of high caliber coaches that have been in the NBA. They can come here and they can instill some, some NBA philosophies, because this is where guys want to go.
Yep. We saw Chase Buford coaching Sydney last night for the first time. Another with great pedigree. It's a destination league. 36ers lead by 4. Zunic with his feet set. Misses everything.
Let it go from there. Go ahead. He thought about it.
He looked. Hannah's trying to shake Kevin White. Nice. Draws contact.
Kevin White's a hard-nosed defender, so that matchup with him and Sunday Deck, that's going to be interesting. You're going to earn it when Kevin's on you. As a defender, that's all you can really do, because guys that can score, they're going to find ways to score. What you want to do is just try to limit their efficiency, so it's not that easy.
And his floater off target. Malou with the rebound. Shot clock down to 7. It's Bairstow at the elbow. Travers did well. Forces it out of play. College and Michael Frazier, who's not playing tonight. So they certainly don't want for much, do they?
Plenty of talent there. Now it's just a matter of can we mesh? Can we all get on the same page?
Hannah's off the inbound. Tried to bank it home. Bairstow had his arms clipped. Baseline ball. He thought it was free throws.
And he decided to waste 2 seconds of his life by speaking to the referee.
Here's Nick Marshall. It was impressive in his first game. That's a nice finish.
A running hook. Add that to your repertoire, youngins.
That's 7 points in the game against Cairns on Sunday. Opens his account now.
There you go.
Here's Vic Law out of the timeout. They run something for him. Not that time, though. Isaac Gatorna on the floor as well. Hannah's had it come off his foot.
Hannah's been lively in his few minutes he's been out here. You wonder if they, are they imports? Are they on minutes restrictions? What are you doing? Is it too early for load management? You wonder how much Vic Law is going to play. He's playing his whole first quarter out. One shot. They ran that post little action for him that one time. But like we seen the other day, some guy imports didn't play the last quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, every team seems to have a different strategy for how they want to go about it. A lot of that would be pre-planned, you'd imagine. Some things will never change, and one of those is Jesse Wagstaff nailing one from the top of the key.
Oh, Jesse, he's a wily veteran now, isn't he?
Back to three again. Hannah's blocked by Travers. Got him over the back. Wildcats want to get moving. Wagstaff was fouled.
Perth methodical in the action. They're not going to do anything silly. I mean, outside of Bryce, who might come down and just let one fly, they're going to be pretty disciplined. They're going to get what they want most possessions. So on the defensive end, you got to be switched on.
See Scott Morrison there. Comes with a lot of international pedigree. As Damon mentioned, been an assistant under Brad Stevens at Boston for the last 4 years. It's a huge recruit for this league. Hannah's takes contact from Vic Law. And that'll send him to the free throw line.
First free throws of the game. Been pretty clean.
Where he's very comfortable as a free throw shooter. Dusty Hannahs went to Texas Tech for a couple of years at college. Holds the all-time free throw record at that school.
Red Raiders.
Shot from the stripe at 92.9%.
Andy. It's one thing being a great free throw shooter. Then you got to be great at getting to the free throw line. He's got to work out the referees. What can he get away with? What can he suck him into calling?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff will come with time.
Here he is in transition. Blows past Travers, but didn't get the shot away in time. After one, it's Adelaide who leads 17-12. They win the quarter and take a point in the Bruton Loggins Cup. What do you make of the opening stanza? I like this. Do you, as a coach, as we take a look at some of the shooting stats from the opening quarter, as a coach, Damien, do you want to start to build? So do you want more out of the second game of the first game and then more from the third game than what you saw in the second game?
Absolutely. Each game you got to show improvement. They had to went back and looked at the tape. CJ would have had he might have got a couple hours sleep. He would have watched the tape and he would have saw we need to at least improve in these areas. Because everybody knows you're not going to be playing your best at basketball in November, nor do you even want to.
Yeah.
So they would have identified a couple key areas. And let's be better in these spots. Kind of judge it off of that.
The leading scorers, Dusty Hannahs, in limited minutes. In fact, only 4 minutes, has 7 points. 4 points for Majuk in his return to the NBL competition after injury last year.
Every team, I think, should have a Majuk. a warrior inside that you can just throw the ball into, everything breaks down, and watch him crab hook.
He's just, in this lineup, he's exactly what they need, isn't he? Off the bench,
Yep.
big presence.
Energy guy, defensive presence. Yep.
Interesting stat of the opening quarter, the standout. Adelaide just the 1 3-point attempt with their 1 of 1. Perth 2 of 12. Stark contrast.
Yes. The next one's going in mentality.
It's Tad Dufelmeyer starting the second quarter. Thought he was fantastic on Sunday. 14 points. Hannah's misses with the floater. Clark, Hodgson, Purchase, Law, Zunic on the floor for the Wildcats. Hodgson, nice pass for Purchase, who takes care of the rest.
How many times do we see that happen? Ball goes inside, defense off the ball, stares at the man, and you get a cut. Guy gets an easy bucket. Good pass by Matt.
McCarron out for Dufelmeyer. He's off target. So Humphreys, Hannahs, McCarron, Dufelmeyer and Malou out there for Adelaide to start the second. They've got numbers ahead, although Clark saw the pass from Dufelmeyer coming. Now Purchase up the floor for Hodgson. Not that time.
That's when you want to finish. He knows that, but that's what happens sometimes. Your touch isn't quite there as the preseason, but long arms, you back him most times to finish that.
Uncontested. Here he is on the low block. Clark baseline running out of time. And one end to the other, McCarron sees only Purchase ahead. Takes it at him, no foul, tipped in by Dufelmeyer.
Mitch just plays a nice at his pace. You're not going to speed him up if he doesn't want to. He's just going to kind of control the tempo, kind of pick his spots. Like we thought he was quiet a couple of days ago, but that's his style. Nothing too breakneck speed, just totally composed.
So both teams have been happy to rotate the minutes and have gone to their benches. All 20 players who are suiting up tonight have played so far.
Yeah, coach has got to give everybody give them a little taste, because the benches get a whole lot shorter when the real season starts. You can just see the influence too, like of what Adelaide's running. Like as CJ played, you got Hannahs, you got running these turnouts. You're coming off, you're chasing this guy who, if you go under the screen, he'll stop and shoot the three. You trail. Next thing you know, he's in the paint. And he's shooting these floaters. So you wonder, like, how much does a coach's style of play, if he was a player, how much does he bring that to the team?
Yeah.
Do we know anything about Scott Morrison's playing career?
Not a lot.
He's a little dude over there.
About his playing
Sure he
career.
had
I'm
one.
guessing he was a guard. I'll come back to you on that. Zunic throws it away. A little sloppy, both teams, to start this second quarter.
Scott's going with Vic Law again for the second quarter. He played the whole 10 in the first quarter, baby, just thinking, you know, we're just going to run you into it. No point in messing around, resting on the bench.
Captain for the NBL 22 season, Mitch McCarron. Dufelmeyer found Humphreys, left all alone. The big man does have a nice stroke.
I don't know if John Calipari would have had him doing that when he was in Kentucky, but he's developed that kind of shot, especially in today's, with all the pick and rolls and all the bigs popping out to space. Oh, I still like it. But Humphreys, if he can make that little 12, 15-foot shot, that just makes everything a lot easier.
That pass was telegraphed. Hannahs was awake to it and takes it to the other end and scores.
Yeah, sloppy pass on that one by Vic. He might be getting a little bit fatigued. We'll see if a sub is coming his way pretty soon.
Again, Perth turning the ball over, which is uncharacteristic for any Perth team. McCarron, nice pass for Malou.
Yes, that had timeout written all over it. Perth's fatigued.
Late 36ers, so a bunch of games in a short space of time.
And guys would rather play than practice, I'll tell you that. That's not going to change.
They've surely had enough of practice by now. You can see Kai Soto, all 7'2" of him at the end of the Adelaide bench, not playing tonight. Daniel Johnson not out there too. We're still yet to see Todd Withers take his place for the 36ers.
Daniel Johnson's probably iced his elbow most of the night. I'm sure he's itching to get into the next game so he can pick up where he left off.
20+ field goal attempts, wasn't it, the first game?
Not bad.
King pulls up for 3. That's short. Now Cotton surveying the floor. Purchase travels, in fact, put his foot on the line.
That's when people turn down shots, you make him pass, a guy penetrates, kicks it out. If you don't shoot it, you know, the defense, you re-penetrate. Sometimes it comes off, but when the shot clock's running down, somebody's got to take that shot, or you end up something like that happening.
.36 by 9. Bairstow spins on Majuk. That's a lovely finish.
Nice game, nice hard jab, went hard middle. Half of a Hakeem shake in the hook.
11 points and 8 rebounds in his debut for the 36ers, Cam Bairstow. Very late signing for them, but his pedigree is as good as just about any.
I think anytime you can pick up a Bairstow, you're doing all right.
It's Cotton. Lays it up under pressure. Nice finish. From the 3-time MVP. Much needed bucket for Perth. See the shooting stats in the bottom of your screen there.
Even when the coach says, yeah, you know, don't worry about the score. You always worry about the score. Even though you're playing by the quarters, you still look up the.
They'll have weapons everywhere.
That's the thing. When you got, can you have too many weapons? I don't know. I mean, as long as it's not like it's a my turn, your turn kind of thing. But you got to let each other play to their strengths. So, again, it's just going to take time to see how it all gels.
White goes 1 of 2. Inside 5 minutes before halftime. Tasmania up next against Cairns. Sellout crowd really building at My State Bank Arena. It's Cam Bairstow getting to work.
Put him in the spin cycle. Big fella likes spinning to his right. And that's most of the action these days. You don't have a traditional post play. You just dump the ball into the post most of the times. Most of your bigs are going to be dribble handoff guys and guys that just set random picks. But if you can put the ball on the floor as a big these days, just like Bairstow just did, you become that extra threat.
Majuk takes his position down low.
Can all stay healthy at the right time. That's another thing. You need some luck. You can have a great regular season. You get the wrong injuries to the wrong guys at the wrong time. It can derail your season.
His Purchase, feet set. That's what he's out there to do.
6'8" shooting guard, shooting small forward, whatever he calls himself. He's definitely a three-point threat.
Marshall couldn't tip it in and was out of play. Perth ball.
CJ's upping the tempo on defense, realizing that Perth's legs might be a little bit wobbly.
Double comes for Wagstaff. There's Travis. Flashing to the basket and flying high.
There's our first dunk of the game. Mojave King got caught ball watching. Man cuts right down the middle, two-hander.
And then Wagstaff picks off the pass. Officials might take a look at this and have a chat about it. Here's that last action from Luke Travers.
You got to think, too, when the ball goes into the post, I mean, how many post buckets has been scored? So if you're on the perimeter, you're playing defense. I'm thinking, I don't think he's going to score that.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you have to make that shot. I'm not going to lose sight of my man, especially an athlete like Travis. How tall you reckon Bryce Cotton's going?
How tall?
Yeah. What lie did he tell in the program?
I've got him listed as he bombs away. I've got him listed as 6 foot.
I was 6 foot when I played.
I was going to say though, this is the first time I've seen Bryce with hair for a while. Maybe he's 6 foot with the hair.
That helps, but he jumps like he's 6'5", so
Sure
I guess it don't matter.
Marshall, nice pass underneath for Isaac Humphries.
Good extra pass, ball movement, attack the closeout, give up penetration. And like you're running guys off the three-point line like they're Steph Curry. Sometimes you can just see if a guy can make a shot instead of giving up penetration, which leads to a dunk.
Big block there from Humphries, and now Mojave King can't make it count, but there's Humphries and the tip in for Dufelmeyer. So the big fella running the floor and getting it done at both ends. Isaac Humphries, although the points weren't his, he blocks another shot, but picks up the foul on the way through.
Adelaide shooting 16% from three. 16.
Dear.
So, fellas, calm down. Let's just not overreact just because the guy's on the three-point line, he might shoot it. Because there's a good chance, there's an 84% chance he's going to miss it.
Last season, they had their struggles at times, the 36ers. That was one thing they could do last year, was shoot the three ball. They were third in the competition in that stat.
I actually played a good mate of mine, Jamie Madigan. Shout out to Mildura Mavericks. He had a saying, everybody gets one. You take the first three. If you miss it, the average guy, he don't want to miss two in a row. So he's going to probably try to put the ball on the floor. But if he makes that first one, then you obviously respect it.
Humphries rolling to the basket. Nice hands from Law. Saw it coming. And Wagstaff in good position down low. Has the height advantage over Hanna's. Hanna's hands were too fast. Nice pass from Marshall for Dufelmeyer, who's having an impact again.
Nice. This is what happens. Jesse's got the ball down on the block. He thinks he's got the mismatch, but as soon as you dribble it more than one time, the piranha are coming. End up forcing him into a turnover. Got to make a quick decision out of the post.
As Travis finishes off with the left. He looks like he's a little sore. Foul on the floor from Kevin White.
That was the foul. That was the purpose foul to come out of the game. They're trying to make a sub. Took a hit for the team. Something I couldn't see myself ever doing. Why would I want to come out of the game?
I'm not sure there's too many that would do that. Probably says enough about Kevin White, doesn't it?
Guys tugging on their shirts, asking for a sub. Like, nah, I can't do that.
Wagstaff. Humphrey sat off. Wagstaff made him pay.
Yeah, Isaac either disrespected him or he's just tired, too tired to make a call. But he got caught in no man's land there, and Jesse made him pay.
7 points. 2 of 2 from the field for the Wildcats captain. Humphreys threw a hot one for Dufelmeyer with the shot clock ticking down. Half here on KO Freebies.
Also, get your Jack Jumpers and all season jersey today by visiting the Jack Jumpers merchandise outlet located in the foyer here at My State Bank Arena, or purchase online at shop.jackjumpers.com.au to make sure you don't miss out. The start of the 21-22 NBL season is not far away. The Jack Jumpers scheduled to kick off the season right here at My State Bank Arena on Friday the 3rd of December. Scan the QR code on the big screen now to sign up to the Tasmania Jack Jumpers newsletter. That way you won't miss any of the action. It's now time to welcome back our resident DJs, the Coffee Crew.
As we shoot the ball well, take the right shots, they'll drop. If you CJ Bruton in Adelaide, you're going, we held them under 30 points. This is great. Let's see if we can do it again for a second half.
Both teams from the three-point line didn't exactly shoot the lights out. Perth at 25%, 4 of 16. Adelaide 1 of 8, just 12%. So both teams will be looking to improve that number going into the second half. Vic Law, mid-range 2, rattles out.
Vic, yeah, at least he got him an early touch early. 0 for Tuesday, but that's okay. As long as it's a focal point to get him involved.
As Cotton, in his return from injury, got to the top of the key. Not that time though for Bryce.
We saw a lot of that with Bryce coming down, transition, getting that early on-ball screen. He comes off and let a triple fly.
Those hands from Bairstow. Took it away from Travers, and McCarron, no look outlet pass for Mojave King.
Mitch in total control. Saw that no look coming. Mojave running the floor, gets rewarded.
A turnover for Perth. 36 is playing tonight without Daniel Johnson, who's being rested after playing massive minutes in game 1. Todd Withers, their import from North Carolina, is yet to suit up. And Kai Soto being rested this evening. Nice move by Bairstow. Big news for the NBL announced this morning, and for fans of Kai Soto, a multi-year deal being done to broadcast the NBL into the Philippines.
Hello.
Enormous basketball fans.
Nice. Have you ever been to the Philippines?
I haven't, no.
Me neither. If we get tight with Kai, maybe he can hook us up.
We could carry his bags around. He's a celebrity in the Philippines. Bairstow makes the second. How do you look to manage a guy like Cam Bairstow, Damon, who really in the last 3 years has played a small amount of basketball because of injury? This is 2 games in a row he's playing. Would you expect to maybe see him rested in one of the next 2 games, or is he better off just continuing to play?
I'm of the mindset that you got to play yourself into it. I mean, he's really been resting. Okay, I know he's been recovering and recuperating, but that's rest as far as I'm concerned. And as a player, you don't want to sit there and think about it and talk about it and conceptualize it. Then put me in. Let me just take my knocks and lumps and see how I'll pull up. And I'm sure he's having conversations with the team doctor and with CJ to let him know, how you feeling? You pull up okay? Yep, I'm fine. So let's keep it going.
That's 7 points tonight on the back of a really good first performance. 11 rebounds to go with 8 points on Sunday against the Taipans, former Chicago Bull. Here he is off the McCarron pass, off the back of the iron, and it's knocked out of play by Humphreys.
There's a few different lineups. Like CJ, you're sitting over there. Well, both coaches, you're trying to work out your best 5. Who's my closing 5? And we're not going to see everybody's best 5 early because you got to get legs. You got to get minutes in everybody. But they're thinking, don't worry, like come game 1, when that bench gets cut to 7, 8 players, you'll see who the closing groups are.
Lawrence fell into his hands.
There you go.
He's on the board. His first points of the game.
Sometimes all it takes is one, just to see one go in.
Humphreys may have traveled, definitely traveled the second time.
Yeah. Like to see Isaac get into more scores mode when you get down there in the block like that, because you're not going to have a lot of time. Just a side note, Isaac Humphreys looks just like my youngest daughter's boyfriend, John. Except he's 10 inches shorter.
I was going to say, how would you go, your daughter's boyfriend, if he's 6'11" like Isaac Humphreys? Does he sing like Isaac Humphreys, though?
Nah, he's probably about 4'11", but he's a boxing champ.
Okay.
Not going to help him, though, if things go sideways. But anyway, back to the basketball.
Foul called on the Wildcats. Sunday deck. Free throws to come.
No, you're good there, Joe. He's a good dude.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, shout out to Joe Taylor, boxing champ Victoria.
Is he really? Boxing champ
Yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah, he's got hands. I'll tell you, Sunday Deck. Let's talk about Sunday. He plays defense like it's already halfway through the season. Like there's no preseason, take it easy, I'm just going to ease my. He's just an intense defensive player. You see it early. He sets a tone.
Started his career as a Wildcat, won 2 titles with Perth. Ten-point lead for Adelaide. Nicely done from Gatorna to win it back for the 36ers. And the offensive foul came from the official on the other side of the court.
See, when the 6-foot guy knocks over the 7-foot guy and the 7-foot guy falls, I'm not going to be quick to give him that charge, even though it probably was right. But I just looked at that last set that they ran, Perth, and like you got Bryce in the corner coming off a double, which he's got to know they're going to switch that every time. You got Vic Law with the ball. So all the actions, everybody's worried about Bryce. This is when Vic's got to be aggressive, and he's not in an aggressive mindset right now. So I guess he's just going to take some time to ease into it. But I like to see him be more aggressive.
It's Purchase. Catch and shoot 3, no good. Ball falls to the advantage of Sunday Deck. Shot clock winds down. Humphreys spinning on Hodgson, but spun out of control. It's just not happening for Isaac.
Yeah, and you can tell he's frustrated because he did it's my turnover, but you should have been in the corner. Like, nah, man, you had a shot, you didn't take it, and got yourself in a little bit of trouble. At least he was more aggressive with that move. It just, it didn't quite come off for him. 10 push-ups for the turnover. And he's sagging off on the ball screen when Bryce comes off, so he's kind of compounding it. So you don't want to let the frustration of one play affect what you do on the defensive end, which looks like it just happened.
Plays with a lot of passion, Isaac Humphreys. He's always got something interesting to say. We learnt that last season, some of his halftime and pre-game interviews. He never really knew what was coming next.
There's his hook. There's his hook. See, you can just see it coming. There's plenty of game left, so you don't want to overreact. But players are competitive. Nobody wants to make any mistakes, and he's not, But if you compound a couple, you got to come get a seat. That's just the way it goes. I've learned this too when you're a bench player, and the guy comes off the court and he's frustrated. Don't be the first guy to give him a towel, because he's going to throw it at you, Melvin Thomas. Shout out to Mel Thomas.
Nice pass, McCarron for Gatorna. Nice transition offense from the 36ers. Kevin White tees one up. Wagstaff with the rebound. Out for Cotton. He knocks it down.
It's only a matter of time.
7 points now for Bryce. He's starting to build into this game. Perth get it back. Kyle Zunic happy this time to put the ball on the floor. Points are waved away. There could be a case to say that they could have counted, but
yeah, no continuation happening in Tassie at the moment. Jack Jumper might get that call.
they'll be jumping out of their seats by the time Tassie get up and running. Shortly after the completion of this game, it'll be the Jack Jumpers up against the Cairns Taipans. Sold out crowd at My State Bank Arena. Stuffelmeyer back into the game. Ooh. It's a block on Kevin White.
Kevin thought he picked it perfect, but unlucky. You're gonna get, I got a theory on these fouls with these referees. Hear me out. You only get 5. You are guaranteed to get 2 bad calls. Guaranteed. You only really got 3 fouls to play with. That was one of Kevin's bad calls. And he's already got a reputation as a hard-nosed defender. He got to kind of protect himself. You got to be real, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. You got to be careful with your fouls.
So how do you use the other 3?
I wait till late in the game, a little bit later,
yeah,
so I can get a little bit more feisty going for steals.
Zunic up top. He's got a nice left-handed stroke. That one jumped out.
I've still yet to see a lefty with a bad-looking stroke.
We were talking about it on Sunday, weren't we?
It's like God made up for them being left-handed by giving them a nice jump shot.
Favorite left-handed shooter?
Favorite lefty. Straight away.
International or here, whoever suits.
Hard to go past Chris Mullin.
That was what I was going to say.
Hard to go. I mean, I'm showing my age, but now Chris Mullin's lefty is beautiful to watch. In saying that, one lefty shot that wasn't that great to watch. Tayshaun Prince, remember him?
Yeah.
Pistons?
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing with his, but
Sort of came from, yeah. There's always an exception to the rule, though.
at least one.
Shooting stats improving slightly for both teams in this third quarter. Still a fair way off where they'd like them to be, though. Wagstaff, veteran move, draws the contact.
Yeah, he better drew the contact because he had Majuk posted. Majuk had his man belief right underneath the net, and he was on that ball. So if you're gonna look him off, you at least better get to the stripe.
Cam Bairstow comes out. Nick Marshall back in. In the jungle.
In the jungle, you don't want to give each other too much ammo. You don't want to say anything ridiculous. If you win this turn, if you win this game, you don't want any bulletin board material. But you still want to have a little bit of confidence going in if you can at least beat them, get a win.
It'll be the Jack Jumpers to open the season against Brisbane on Friday, December the 3rd, and then straight after that, we'll head to the west and a double-header on the opening night.
Crab, hook.
Not that time for Majuk, but he doesn't give up on it. Zunic knocks down the 3, his second.
Good inside out. He was unselfish. Majuk could have put that right back up, but he saw a shooter out there on the perimeter, and what often happens after an offensive rebound, you end up with a 3.
It's Dusty Hanna's little floater.
You know he's not the first Dusty to play in the NBL.
Dusty Reichert.
Ah, nice.
He was a good player.
Yeah, he was. Crab, hook, done.
Too big.
You don't have to complicate things. Getting the big guy to just run to the paint and seal. He's not trying to shoot threes. He knows his strengths.
Mojave King, catch and shoot. He's got 9 points now.
Kevin got caught helping out of that corner. That's why he clapped his hands in disgust.
Cotton uses Majuk. Rolled nicely to the basket, but was a little out of control by the end of it. And Hanna's got all the offensive tricks. That's a tough move. And he can't finish off, but kicks it back out to Dufelmeyer.
You wouldn't say Hannon has breakneck speed, but he just seems to get to where he needs to go.
Yep.
I can talk 31% career from 3. Don't worry about it.
31's better than 21. It's White. Did Kevin White things. And gives Perth a chance to score out of the timeout. They trail by double figures. It's the biggest lead of the game for the 36ers right now. Law posting up.
Okay, good mismatch. It was good patience. Vic could have took the first shot, but he gave it up and went posted up and got himself a nice little one dribble turnaround jumper.
Isaac Gatorna tried to bank it home. Travis cross court for a wide open Jesse Wagstaff.
Wow, that's good ball movement. I don't know if the game plan is to double Vic Law off the ball screen, but they did it, and everybody made the right pass and got a wide open triple.
So since the timeout, whatever Scott Morrison had to say for the Wildcats has worked. Duffelmeyer late in the clock. Jacks one up. Wagstaff and Travis try to combine, but Duffelmeyer was there. The 36ers run the floor.
Hey,
Marshall out of control.
On the road. So Perth, who I think are a little bit underdone with the travel and everything that's been happening with them, they want to hurry up and get to a fitness level. Back in the glory day, when you got like Damian Martin and Sean Redditch and all those guys, Brad Robbins, that was a hard defensive fit team that could just wear you down over 4 quarters. This team right now isn't showing me that. Not to say they can't get there, but I think they're going to need to be able to be that kind of defensive team, especially when you're starting off 5 in a row at home. Because like I said, you don't want to finish that 2 and 3 or something like that.
A lot of uncertainty about what's coming up next with borders and all of that sort of stuff, obviously. But you'd expect that Perth, for a period of time, are going to be away from home. There's Jack Purchase. 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting for him.
Jack Purchase looks like Montgomery Burns told him to trim his sideburns. See that old Simpsons episode?
Apparently that's in now. That sort of hairstyle's in. Not that we can really talk too much about that, but nice finish, Vic Law. Points will count.
Easy ones. That's what you do to get your confidence up. When things not going your way, you got to get those easy ones. Offensive rebound, he's still an athlete. 2 feet away from the basket, he's going to finish most times.
Former Brisbane Bullet. Average 18 and 8 before his injury. There was a lot of discussion at that stage of, in the first third of the season, whether he'd be a potential All-NBL first team the way he was playing.
And 18 and 8 doesn't go away. You don't just forget how to be that guy. So, he stepped out. Just got to be patient.
Points for the Wildcats. Jesse Wagstaff has 11 points. It's their leading scorer. Some of the leading rebounders on the court. Matt Hodgson, 7 in his first game as a Wildcat. Vic Law, 5. For the 36ers, Dusty Hannah's their leading scorer with 11. Mojave King has 9. Cam Bairstow has 8, as does Tad Duffelmeyer.
Interesting to see how Scott's playing Vic Law. Because you know, in the NBA, some guys, they'll play a whole quarter, sit half the second, finish the quarter. Vic came in halfway through that third. Now he's starting the fourth. So you wonder if Scott bringing some of the NBA style rotations.
Yeah. He's played 18 minutes, Vic Law. Bryce Cotton's played a little under 20. All players who have suited up tonight, though, all 20 of them, have played at some point during this game. Hannah's trying to get busy on Kyle Zunic. Blocked by Hodgson with the help D.
Yeah, the 8-footer sitting in the key, just waiting for penetration. There's no defense at 3 seconds, so a guy like that's going to be camping out. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be hard to get that shot off.
Wildcats can tie it up on this possession. Now Law extends over the top of Hannah's, makes it a 1-point game.
That's clearly the mismatch. That is, he can get that shot off whenever he wants. So now Adelaide got a decision to make. Do we send the double, or do we trust Hannah one-on-one?
Sunday Deck has a fumble.
Substitution for the Purchase checks back in for Jesse Wagstaff.
Opening minute of this last quarter. A Law for 3.
Shot it with confidence, and that's what a couple of easy buckets would give you. That would have went down for him.
He's not shy, Dusty Hannahs.
You better find him in transition.
Foul on Dufelmeyer.
Perth has clawed their way back into this game just quietly, only down by 1. The momentum somehow shifted when just all of a sudden he started going to mismatches, trying to find Vic on the block. I'll go right back to him down there.
Zunic tried to throw the lob for Hodgson, but Sunday Deck was awake to it. Now he spots up. He's deep as well.
There you go. Clear out. Crab. Send the double. Extra pass. Triple.
Clark couldn't make it count. Offensive rebound, Hodgson. Again, they play through Vic Law. With Cotton off the court, this might be a sign of things to come.
I'm not saying Vic can't make that 3. But you want to take the shot that you know is going to create havoc. And him down on the block like he did before when they had to come send the double, and they end up getting a wide open 3 as opposed to that one. You know, sometimes you got to just pick your spots.
Let's pass cross court. Hodgson for Kyle Zunic. Not that time.
Dufelmeyer dodged a bullet, sitting on the split line for some reason. That's great in under 16s. But in NBL, giving up corner 3s.
You can see the frustration on the face of Isaac Humphries. He's 2 of 7. And they've all been pretty good looks as well.
Yep, he's frustrated, and Bairstow's over there stretching.
Isaac would have seen that.
This could be his hook.
McCarron in transition. Beautiful stroke.
Mitch McCarron just flying under the radar, just cruising around. You forget about him, there goes 3.
His first points. '36ers still lead this one by 4. They've led for the entirety of this match. Clark has Law cutting to the basket. Off the glass.
It ain't rocket science. Anywhere in that distance, Vic he's too hard to stop. I'd make that a steady diet.
Jack Jumpers warming up as we speak, as are the Cairns Taipans. They'll play in about half an hour from now, or just over, in the second of our Tuesday night doubleheader. Both teams coming off a loss in their first game. They'll be looking to join the winners list. That's an offensive foul on Hannahs.
Yep, got caught putting the shoulder down. You know who I've been impressed with? This guy number 32, Clark.
Yeah.
If you look at his stats, you go, yeah, he hasn't done anything. But he hasn't done anything wrong. He's running the team. He doesn't need to take any shots. He knows he got guys that he's distributing the ball. He's controlling the tempo. I got respect for a guard like that who doesn't need to fill the stats to look like he's doing something.
Good opportunity for him to
Now
get some minutes.
He's got to get his name on the back of the singlet. Let me know you really care about me.
Got a host of injuries at the moment, the Wildcats. Bairstow wants to face up on Purchase. Now he's back to the basket. Purchase has done well. He's been in there for a while.
You know it's good defense when you almost get a 3-second call on the post move.
And Kevin White, not that time. Marshall brings the ball up the floor for Adelaide. McCarron under all sorts of pressure from Cotton. Last touch though by the Wildcats.
This is when you find out what teams do in the last, crunch time, last 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Which team can execute the best, which team can make the least amount of mistakes, not turn the ball over. We'll come out with this win.
At one stage, the lead was 11. As Perth do, they haven't given up on it. They've just slowly but surely chipped away at the deficit. And now it's only 2 the difference. Travers stripped. Bairstow's hands were swift. And Hannes from the logo.
The fact that he even has the confidence to pull up from that range off the break tells you he's serious about scoring.
He is. I think he's deadly serious about scoring. Mojave King pulls the trigger. That clip for both teams, that's been the way from the start, hasn't it? It's not like it's declined as the game's gone on.
Yeah. In the words of Adam Caporn, shout out to Adam, he was through a shooting slump, said, Adam, how you shooting going, man? He said, I couldn't hit a barn with a frozen chicken. I still haven't heard anything funnier than that.
3.5 minutes left. You can see the crowd really starting to build now at MyState Bank Arena. Mentioned that it's a sellout tonight, as it was on Sunday, as it is for the next game here as well. Harvey King spins. Couldn't finish off though.
Good move. That's what you want. You're attacking the basket. You want to put the pressure on the referees. The shot didn't drop for him, but that's a good move. Put pressure on Travers to play some D.
Rear jump ball. You're talking about Mitch Clark playing in tonight's game. Damon, you've liked the look of him. The #1 man in Perth, Lockie Reed, is watching on as we speak.
Yeah,
Said that he's been a train-on player with Perth for the last couple of years and is building and building, a Scotch boy.
He looks like he belongs. Like I said, he hasn't done anything wrong, in my opinion, from one little guy to the other. His time might not come in this particular team, this particular season, but you can see that he's improving.
From all reports, a very good young footballer. That's another one that basketball's winning. Travers has had his chances from out there tonight. McCarron kept his feet when Wagstaff didn't. And hands by Law.
Got to really respect Mitch McCarron. And I'm sitting here thinking if I was a player, he lulls you to sleep. He's just kind of wandering around.
Yeah.
Now, next thing you know, he's in the paint. That pass didn't come off, but it was a threat.
Deck, not the first time or the second. Another offensive rebound for Adelaide, though. Now the captain.
Oh, the sweeping hook. He gets the call.
He's got free throws to come.
36ers will head to line for 2 shots.
What do you reckon? First team to 60 wins?
2:32 left on the clock. Mitch McCarron.
I'm not sure if one of them are going to get to 60, are they? Definitely. First team to 60 is winning this.
Preseason shenanigans, that's okay. We knew this was coming. You're not going to be at your best. We've said it plenty of times, and You don't want to overreact to bad shooting performances this early in the season. We'll save that for when the season starts.
Blowing them cobwebs out.
That's it.
There's a lot of them, particularly for Perth. Their first game, Adelaide have already played the one game. There's Nick Marshall dragging it in.
Good. Bearstow thought my life just flashed before my eyes. I'm out here on the island with Bryce Cotton. And Bryce bailed him out by shooting a three.
It's the worst place in Australian basketball to be, on Cotton Island. It's a lonely place. Kev White scrapping for it, but gave it up to Marshall. And then just to rub salt into the wounds, he's whistled for the foul.
Yeah, they call that the compounding errors. The turnover and then the foul. Kevin's a bit of a frustration foul there.
Played last season with the Cairns Taipans, Mojave King, averaged 6 points a game. Had 25 in the final game of the season last year, which was a real indication of what we already knew about him, that he's got limitless ability. A change in scenery this year.
It's all about a fit sometimes.
Another year older, another year in the gym.
He's got plenty of room left in his frame to fill out. He's already an athlete. Yeah, he's still learning. I mean, as good as he is now, the potential is definitely there. It's just a matter of just seasoning.
Yeah. And Travis head down to the basket, lays it up. Brings it back to 4 the difference. With less than 2 minutes left. Six points for him.
It's good to see Bryce make that extra pass, because even though he's clearly a scorer, he didn't force that shot up. The guy came and helped. He kicked it out to Travis, and Travis attacked the basket.
Bairstow gives the 36ers another chance, and for them can wind a little time off the clock. Down to 3 for Deck. Long range 3 is good.
That is a good shot, but on defense, that's the worst 3 to give up. There's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. What do you think is going to happen? You'd be surprised how many times guys just sag off because they don't want to get beat off the dribble, and they just give up a 3 to the team that's shooting 21%. My Jocks are big. They can get to the paint. He can get to the foul line and got a nice touch. There's no hack-a-shack type thing happening with Majuk. You can trust him late in games.
He's played some good minutes tonight, which is the best part about it. 12 minutes. Has 8 points and 5 rebounds. McCarron under pressure. Travers was there to help. Cotton alongside him, misses the left-handed layup. And then stole it away from Mojave King. Slipped over, kept it alive, and then threw it out of bounds.
All that effort. I thought it was a good no call on the layup, and then he came and got the steal, and he slipped. It looks like it's kind of slippery out there. Probably lucky they didn't call travel, but
yeah,
kind of sums up the kind of the night this particular game he's had.
McCarron tips it in for 2 more. That should take care of the result now for Adelaide. They lead by 7. Cotton trying to get an early shot away. Goes from deep for the Wildcats. A couple of days rest. They're not in action again until Friday. Also down in Ulverston, where they'll play the Brisbane Bullets.
It's all happening down in Tassie.
Sure is. Sure is.
What's the weather like outside over there?
Couldn't be any worse than Melbourne.
Here we go.
Such a fantastic outpouring of support on social media after the Jack Jumpers' first game on Sunday. It was great to read some of the tweets and comments on Instagram and Facebook as well. Tassie sports fans are just loving it. It's been a long time coming. The Jack Jumpers in action next against the Taipans. Nice trap there from the Wildcats.
You're not giving up. Play it to the last buzzer.
Wagstaff off the inbound. Took it himself. Law went upstairs for the big dunk. The 36ers become the first team at the NBL Blitz to win 2 games. 63-56, the final score. Our first look at Dusty.